Hey guys, it's Joshua Crisp. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what not to buy when you guys start making money on Amazon. This is a common problem and a common mistake that a lot of people make. I made this mistake, and I want you guys to learn from it. Number one, and it's probably the biggest one, is a motorcycle or a car. Um, these are what's called depreciative assets, guys. Once you buy a car and you drive it off the lot, it's going to depreciate in value. You're losing money. Same with the car, motorcycle, and the other one is definitely a house. You start bringing in, two, three, five, $10,000 profit a month. Now you want to go move to that dream area, get that dream house, so on and so forth. Which it's not hard. It's not hard to believe. Once you start making money, you want to enjoy yourself. But cars and houses are depreciative assets, which means once you spend money to get them, they are not going to make you money. They will not increase in value. A lot of people say, well, if I buy a house, it's cheaper to buy the house and pay the mortgage than it is to rent. And that's not always the case. Yeah, the mortgage might be 1,100 for the particular home versus where the rent would be 2,000, but you are not nimble and you have no flexibility. A 12-month lease is a whole lot easier to get out of than a 30-year mortgage. And that's the beautiful thing about selling on Amazon. You can travel anywhere. I made 50 grand last December in Puerto Rico from the Hilton. You can travel anywhere, be it your friends, be on vacation, be it a family members, and make money. So don't tie yourself into being stuck on a house or being stuck in one place and paying that mortgage. Don't get me wrong. I have two children. I'm married. I plan on buying a really nice house, but I want to be nimble. I want to have flexibility. And the way you guys can do that is investing in real estate. Save your money. I know it's really hard. You start seeing all this money coming in. But utilize that money now that you guys have that cash flow, that revenue flow coming in. Utilize that and have your money work for you. I got a couple examples I want to show you guys. And this isn't, you don't have to be making $100,000 profit a month to be able to do this, guys. I'm going to show you guys two different levels, two different examples. And you can start doing this in as little as 3 to 6 months, depending on what your products, depending on how aggressive you are. It's going to vary from one person to the next. But let's jump right into it. With all that being said, this is an example. Now keep in mind wherever you live. If you live in California, you live in New York, real estate's obviously going to be more expensive. So keep that in mind. This is just where I happen to live. Real estate is inexpensive. And there's no rule or regulation that says you have to invest where you live. It's just a little bit easier to manage. But for 10%, you can have a property manager take care of everything. So this looks like it's a 3-unit building. They're asking $98,500. Why buy a multi-unit? You might be asking yourself. The rent usually around here in these places are about $500 a unit. So you're bringing in about $1,500 a month. All right, let's do the math. $1,500 a month times 12. You're looking at 18 grand a year. Okay? Versus putting that 18 grand down on a house and depreciating and having to dump money into it and pay taxes and so on and so forth. Keep in mind this, guys, for commercial, if it's an investment property for commercial, it's 20% down. Okay, so you're looking at 20 grand down. You move tenants in here right away, and boom, you're making 18 grand a year. So at the end of the year, you're going to get your money back. In a 10-year period, you're going to double your money, and every month after that, it's just free money coming in. This is how you establish wealth, guys, is generating multiple streams of revenue that come in. Once Amazon starts taking off, it's good and handy. I mean, you can live if that's what you're content with having one stream of revenue. But the goal is to create success, is to build wealth, is to have multiple strands of revenue. Now, there's a couple other different ways you can look at this. That's the buy, obviously rent method. you could do what's called a house hack. Now, this is 3 units. You could rent 2 of the units out, okay? Live in the 3rd unit, so you would live for free, and the other 2 tenants would pay the mortgage on the property, and you would still turn a profit. Now, this is what's called house hacking. Now, let me tell you something cool about this. Remember when we said if you're not going to live in it and you're going to use this investment property, it needs to be a conventional loan, which is 20%. If you house hack it and you show that you're going to live in it, it can pass for an FHA loan, which is only 5% down, guys. So this is, let's see here, that's only $5,000 down. Now, you have to check with your lawyer, check with your local laws, but here it's 2 years. So you could move into this house for 2 years, put 5 grand down, move in here for 2 years, have the tenants pay your mortgage, work on building your Amazon listings, get that thing going crazy, and then 2 years move out, move a 3rd tenant in, and boom, you got in here at 5%. All right, now that's just a quick example. Do not buy a house. Don't get stuck, guys. Let's move on to a bigger listing. Let's say you start making more money. Let's say you already have some money saved. This is one that I'm currently looking at right now. Let's see here, this guy. All right. So this is the big boy. This is 94 units. Now you might see the price tag $1.3 million and your eyes might want to pop out. But this is a real solid investment. All right. You're looking at 94 units. If you take the low and take the high rent and you come up with a medium at $600 per unit, you times that by 94, you're looking at $56,400 a month, guys. That's $676,800 a year. So you're looking at about $6.7 million in 10 years. So now keep in mind there are taxes with income properties. There are taxes. You definitely want to put money up for fixing. You got roof, windows, HVAC, plumbing. That stuff is inevitable. You are going to have to fix stuff. You're going to have to stash money away for vacancies, so on and so forth. But long story short, this makes sense. You put 20% down, it's about $260,000, and right off the gate you're bringing $56,000 and some change in a month. So you'll recoup that in several months, be able to place that back. And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is this doesn't show as a debt. When you guys go to apply for these loans, they want to look at your debt to income ratio. So even though you put $260,000 down, let's say you're about approximately $1 million in debt on this unit complex. They're going to look at the amount of units. They're going to look at the cash flow coming in, and they're going to subtract that from the mortgage. Now, whatever is left is added to your income. So even though you're in debt on this property, what happens is your debt to income actually goes up. So the tenants are paying for the mortgage. After you stash away money for vacancies, put some money into escrow, have some money for repair, pay your 10% to your property manager, whatever's left is going to be pure profit. Now you can take that money and roll it into another one. And it kind of turns into an avalanche. The ball just keeps rolling down the hill, if you catch my drift. So I didn't want to rant and rave. A lot of people are going to say, oh, well, no, I want to buy a house. That's my goal. I want to start making money. I want to quit my job. I want to buy a house. That's kind of the American dream. That's what everybody was taught. That's what everybody was led to believe. But what I'm trying to help you guys do is achieve financial freedom and build long-term wealth. And one of the most stable ways to do so is real estate. And that's how I've done it. Just starting out, if you guys don't have a house, if you guys already have a house and you have equity in it, sell the house and invest the money. If you guys don't have a house, take into consideration house hacking. Get a duplex, get a threeplex, get a quadplex. Live in one of the units for 2 years for free and stack that money. There's not saying that you can't be successful if you already have a house, but I'm trying to open your guys' eyes to see different possibilities here. If you guys have any questions along the way, or you guys want to see any videos on anything, go ahead and put it in that comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this with your friends, guys. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to start doing live Q&As. I'm going to start doing giveaways, the whole 9 yards. So you guys make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.